In this video, I'm going to show you how to become a dominant linebacker who earns a full-ride scholarship so your family doesn't have to pay a dime for college. You'll learn how to stay fresh and healthy every day. You'll rest and train smarter to get faster, stronger, and more explosive on the field. You'll take charge of your growth. You'll stay patient through your hard days. You'll build a quiet, confident patience that makes your parents and your siblings in your hometown proud. You'll change your family's future forever. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly how we can make that happen within months using a guide who's walked the path before you. A guide who's earned 4 stars as a recruit, won state titles, had a weight room video go viral, ran 4.39 in the 40 at 235 pounds, jumped a 39-inch vertical, earned a full ride to an SEC school, who's signed with NFL teams, one who's earned a debt-free degree. You can stop burning yourself out. You can stop watching confidence slip away with every missed chance. You can do it not having to rely on endless tiring workouts and grinds that just leave you slow and tired and hoping coach is gonna notice you. Watch this video. You'll learn how to stay fresh and healthy daily. You will get stronger, you will run faster, and play with more power on the field. You will build real confidence. You will take charge of your own future. If you're serious and ready to stop struggling, stop guessing, and start making the most of your talent, stick around, you're in the right place. This is only for high school linebackers who want to get faster, more explosive, and stronger. Linebackers that play more than one sport and still make time to train every week. Ones who actually enjoy the feeling of getting better day by day. Linebackers who love sprinting and chasing that next level of speed. Linebackers who are actually wanting to invest in themselves and their growth. Ones who want to go earn a college scholarship so their family doesn't have to pay for their college. Ones who want to change their life and their family's life through their athletic ability and their hard work. Ones who are seeking a coach who's already walked the same path and lived their dreams. So if you don't want to get faster, stronger, more explosive, if you're fine with staying slow, weak, and average, if you'd rather only ever play one sport and never branch out to just limit your athletic ability, if you don't make time to train each week and miss out on real progress, if you hate improving, get bored with sprinting, and dread putting in real effort, if you're not willing to invest in yourself and you want to stay exactly where you are, don't care about earning a college degree, are okay with going to pay for school, take on debt, or not even getting recruited, if you're okay with your athletic ability not being used to help your family, then click away from this video right now. This is not for you. But if you are a high school linebacker who wants to get faster, more explosive, and stronger, and you love playing multiple sports, you make time each week to improve, and you watch your skills grow and you have joy watching yourself improve. If you get fired up to go run and sprint fast, if you actually want to invest in yourself and get better, you dream about a college scholarship, you want to change your life and your family's life through football, and you want a coach who's done what you dream about, then watch the rest of this video. I will show you how to stay fresher and healthier every single day, get stronger and faster and more explosive on the field, build real confidence, and take charge of your future. If you're watching this video, you've tried searching and copying workouts on the internet or even TikTok. You've tried doing countless drills without resting or knowing how it's helping you. You've likely even been in the weight room and tried maxing out every day, thinking that lifting heavy nonstop is the way to get stronger. You've probably found the
no pain, no gain plans from
random influencers. You may even have a high school coach who pushes the grind. He says that bigger is better, condition until you drop just to build toughness, and you follow this grind harder rule, you know? The rule that says the more work brings more gains, and you push through those even when you're exhausted, and you believe that pain is weakness leaving the body. Those internet workouts and those no gain, no pain plans have just left you tired and slow and overlooked. So if that has been you, then what I have is for you. My blueprint is called the 1% Linebacker Academy, and is going to be different than anything else you've already tried. I build it on recovery being our strongest weapon, fresh and smart training, and owning our growth. It has and does work for me and is working for the athletes I work with. It gives you the same explosive playability, the same recruiting edge, and the same confidence that changed my life and can change yours. If you don't know who I am, my name is Wesley Steiner. I'm a professional football player, coach, teacher, and trainer. I was a 4-star Under Armour All American linebacker in high school. I won 2 Georgia State titles in 2018 and 2019 in the discus. I won the Nike Opening National Combine Challenge with a score of 148.17 in 2019. I went viral for a 405-pound power clean in high school, joined the National Honor Society and Beta Club still being in high school. I then went on to earn a full-ride scholarship to Auburn University as a football player, and with my final four schools being Georgia Tech, Stanford, and LSU, along with Auburn. I played as a true freshman, graduated debt-free, and made the SEC academic honor rolls multiple years. At my pro day, I ran a 4.39 40, jumped 39-inch vertical, broad jumped 11.3. Shortly after, signed with the Las Vegas Raiders, and then after that, the Seattle Seahawks. That's proof of what happens when raw speed, power, multi-sport skill, and straight A discipline all live in one body. I've gone down the paths you want to take, and I've come out on the other side. That includes high school confusion, recruiting pressure, fear of missing out. I know what all of that feels like as a high school athlete. One who dreams of standing out, getting a scholarship, and making it to the next level. The reality is that it's daunting and it's a struggle. I fell behind in my own training at times. I felt lost in the recruiting process. I battled the fear of not having a mentor who's done everything I wanted to do to guide me down my own path. And I've experienced the pain of missed opportunities and bad habits. I didn't have the type of guidance to mold me to make the most out of what I could have done in high school. At times, I was stuck and frustrated and doubted myself. I watched and saw younger athletes go through the same type of confusion. And even now, they push through these tired workouts that leave them way worse than how they came into it. They copy random workout plans from online. They grind without rest, and I've seen how that ends up. They end up slow and uncoordinated, overlooked, and their bodies are destroyed. And it might have been different if they just realized that they were doing too much. That this grind mentality, this no pain, no gain thought process is that's the thing I see in a lot of kids today. They look lost, doubting themselves, and they're uninformed, and most of all, they're scared. I watch younger players all in that mess. Like, most of them proved like they weren't ready to take on what football was asking them to do. So it became a mission of mine to make sure guys who wanted to do that wouldn't feel alone, and they wouldn't be lost, and they wouldn't be missing out on their development like I used to be. I took everything that I learned from the highs of the NFL to the lows of missed chances, and I made a different route. One that values recovery as the first approach. One that focuses on being fresh for training, not just endlessly grinding. One that focuses on self-driven progression through persistent basics. One that embraces struggle with patience instead of just pushing through fatigue. One that connects recovery, speed, strength, nutrition, mindset, so that no one thing, no weak link breaks anything. That's the style I live by and the style I coach by now. Proven principles that actually work. Principles that have allowed me to go further and achieve more than I could have on my own. Everything I've gone through has molded, shaped, refined, and grown the application and the practice of these principles. When I started applying these to myself more and more, everything changed for the better. I've experienced lots of success in high school. I realize even now that there was still more on the table for me to achieve had I only lived by what I go by now. At Auburn, even with constant coaching change, I could have done more had I had the system I have now and the belief sooner. At Wake Forest, when I was doing my pro day training, I began to understand and have a real taste of what it's like to be a professional. My training and my time in the NFL has given me a stronger grasp of confidence in the system of applying recovery, fresher and smarter training, and owning my own growth. My life has had these elements, but I didn't understand them as I was experiencing them. I turned raw talent into dominance. I became a Power 5 starter, and I earned a full ride to Auburn. I played early, and I graduated debt-free, signed with the Raiders, signed with the Seahawks, built pro-level speed, power, instinct, technique, and it wasn't luck. People get results when they use principles that work over and over. It's what happened to me, and it's gonna happen for you when you stop guessing and follow a blueprint that's already worked. You will learn why it's worked and why it's worked as well as it has. What you do is important, but understanding why what you do works is even more important. No matter where you go or what you do, the principles are the principles. The principles will work regardless of where you are or what you're doing. This brings me to the first pillar of the 1% Linebacker Academy. Recovery is the superpower. Adrian Park, who's now at Coastal Carolina, was a linebacker I met while he was still in high school. He came to me not being able to control offensive linemen the way he really wanted to, and his speed in the game and the power he had in the game were just not there the way he practiced with or had. And he held himself back because he thought more work, grinding and pushing harder would fix everything. So he'd grind through his workouts and his speed training tired, and he didn't have the proper recovery, he didn't have the proper rest, and he didn't have proper technique. And that belief really hurt his growth because he was not fresh and he wasn't applying himself. His body couldn't improve and he couldn't adapt. This was causing him to get washed off the ball, he lost his leverage, and he just missed key plays. And he knew he had the power and he just couldn't bring it out and use it the way he wanted to. So he started changing for the better when his belief shifted to making recovery important. And in his own words, recovery is more important than the workouts, because if you don't recover, your body will not get anything from the workouts that you're doing. Him prioritizing his freshness and his diet and owning the details let him create real control and functional speed. He changed his training, he started training fresh, and he rested as if it mattered. He executed it well, and he executed it true. He stopped trying to grind all the time, and that change let him level up his play. True speed and control don't come from being the biggest or pushing the hardest every single day. They come from being fresh enough to perform, smart enough to use your leverage, and confident enough to take meaningful action. Rest fuels the body. Fresh training sharpens your skill, and ownership refines that process. Hesitation starts to go away. Power and strength are always an advantage for you, and you can control opponents and win more often. After working together for about a month, he was able to achieve real development. In his case, he got more explosive, and he had better control and leverage versus offensive linemen. His speed was actually functionable again, because he flipped from this mindset of grinding all the time, and he started shifting it to recovery. His diet wasn't helping him before, and when he started shifting it to making it more recoverable to him, that's when it started to come together. He told me if he had this earlier, he'd be a lot further than he used to be, and he recommended it to anybody who's trying to improve their game because he just didn't know what he didn't know before. The second pillar of the 1% Linebacker Academy is to train fresh and train smart. I had 2 high school athletes come to me and they had similar problems. One was a kicker who wanted more distance and power on his kicks, and the other one was a wide receiver who kept getting hurt, and they both believed that pushing through the grind was the answer, and that belief held both of them back. More sprints, more kicks, more lifts, push through the pain. The kicker believed that if he kept putting in more reps that it was going to increase his distance, and the receiver thought that skipping his rest and grinding through his sickness and his injury proved his value to the team. And that belief hurt both of them severely. More volume without rest doesn't build power or speed. It burns you out. It ruins your results. It stops your body from getting stronger. My kicker's body was tired, and that was causing him to lose distance and power. It left him uncoordinated, and he couldn't put the power he had in his legs into the ball. His sequence was off. His lower body was not recovered, and it wasn't ready to go. And that same belief was hurting my receiver. It was letting him stay injured. It kept getting him hurt. And that missed time started making him feel like he was worthless because he couldn't play football. And because he kept trying to push through the pain, and it turned his potential into a setback. Like, both were practicing and performing frustrated and limited. They weren't free, they weren't explosive. What they needed was a new belief. Once they realized, hey, I gotta train fresh and smart, that's gonna beat the grind every day. That's when it started to happen. Change made progress. Intentional work, big or small, and real recovery creates speed and power. Growth from smarter workouts that actually serve the goal that you're trying to get. Growth comes from prioritizing freshness and rest and recovery and listening to your body, not endless volume. True power and speed don't come from doing more. They come from doing the right things when your body is ready to go. Freshness lets the nervous system, thing that tells your brain and your body what to do, the nervous system coordinate everything. For the kicker, it's having a great leg swing. For the receiver, great burst, right? Just examples. Smart training builds these qualities needed for the athlete to perform better. The kicker sequence and his power transferred from the work we were having him do, which was a lot of sprinting and jumping. The receiver's durability started growing and changing because he had proper rest at that point. And they both owned it. Their hesitation was starting to go down. Injury was coming down. Performance was going up. Confidence was going up because they stopped fighting their body. They started working with their body rather than fighting it. That's how you become a player who dominates. You become a player that performs well and doesn't break down when everyone else does. After working with the kicker for about a month and the receiver about a week, they were both able to make real breakthrough. The kicker gained distance and he gained power. And he did so because he was starting to sprint smarter, recovering better, and he was connecting that lower body force he had more effectively. His body adapted quicker than his teammates. And he started competing and jumping with the more athletic players at the school. And he found joy in it. Hey, it's hard for a specialist out there. The receiver stopped destroying himself, and he realized his true value wasn't tied to not resting. He was confident in himself, and he was refining the work that he was doing with patience at that point. He started working smarter instead of grinding through everything or not taking time to grind at all. He got healthier, he got more consistent, and he was confident in his path. They now know that recovery matters and how they train matters. They follow a plan that's proved itself, and they both continue to improve even today. Pillar 3 of the 1% Linebacker Academy: own your growth. Desmond Tisdale is a pro athlete who came to me with analysis paralysis, driven by the fear of being wrong, and this was holding him back from achieving his full potential. He was waiting for the perfect or the safest choice, and this led him to overthinking his ability instead of just trusting his eyes and firing on instinct. That belief of, if I'm wrong, I'll look dumb, I'll get beat, I'll let everybody down, kept him stuck in his head, second guessing rather than attacking. It was causing him to hesitate, and that hesitation is what ends up leading to missed tackles, leading to cutbacks, leading to chasing instead of striking, right? It leads to losing confidence play after play after play. Fear turns fast reads into slow reads. Fear turns violent sheds into baby arm tackles. Fear turns fast bursts into hesitant and slow bursts. Like, that's what happened. It led him to practicing and performing scared, not dominant. What he needed was the belief of, I've gotten this done. I belong here. I go when I see it. And the focus to train his movements to become automatic rather than having to think about it. Trusting instinct always beats thinking every single time in football. When the body knows what to do and the brain is not getting in the way, hesitation dies. Speed soars. Power lands. Confidence flows. Then linebackers turn into players who strike first, right? And they shed blocks, they take space away, they take away cutbacks, they make tackles. That's what recruiters and coaches love to see. That's what they want to see. We got him there after working less than a week together, and that's when the belief really started to settle in with him. That's when his confidence was starting to ingrain into his body, and we eliminated the need to try to be perfect. Again, this is for high school linebackers and athletes with their families who want real change. You want to get faster, you want to get stronger, you want to get more explosive. You play multiple sports, you have time to train each week, and you want to improve. You love sprinting, you love being fast, you want to invest in yourself, you want to go to college for free, you want to change your life and your families through football, and you want a coach who's done what you're trying to do. If that's you, click below, hop on a discovery call with me, shoot me an Instagram DM saying you've watched the video and you're ready to get to work. Okay, I hope you've gotten a ton of value out of this video so far. You can take this information and run with it. You can even apply it to your game right now. If you want help implementing this one-on-one, book a call. I will guide you, I will teach you the ideas, why they matter, and how to apply them to your game. Click below, book a discovery call, and send me a DM on Instagram. I will warn you, you should not try and apply this by yourself, do it alone, or think that this is all you need to do. You think you're actually going to follow through on this right now. There is a lot of context and content that you do not yet understand. That content and context brings everything together the way it could be. It's like getting a map with no compass, no idea where you are on the map or how to get to where you're trying to go. If you try and apply this by yourself, You're gonna end up going in every direction, trying to put together the pieces for your situation in your circumstance. Once you do that, you're gonna be wasting your time trying to learn how to put the pieces together when you could have already started working on the project by accepting help. You're gonna realize, man, this is way harder than I thought, and you're gonna lose heart when you see how much it takes to reach your goal. You haven't yet learned the skill and the sense to use what you've learned. Instead, work with somebody who's already done the work, who can tell you where and how to get what you need and guide you to put your pieces together for your plan. Work with somebody who wants to see you succeed and get wisdom without having to get the scars. This saves you time, effort, energy, and money long term. You aren't going to get your time back. You're not going to get your energy back. There is only so much time to get recruited and win the day. Capitalizing your days is critical. Don't waste your precious time. Don't waste it. Learn what to do and how to do it now, rather than later. Why waste your own effort and energy when you can use somebody who's already gotten a solution that you can have? Use the resources that are available to you because it enables you to go further faster than if you were to try to do it on your own. I am literal proof of all the things I have learned to get to this point. I've been a 4-star recruit in high school. I've been an All American. I've gotten recruited. I've earned a 4-ride scholarship. I played in the SEC. I played in the Pac-12. I signed with teams in the NFL. All these things and the lessons along the way are things I want to share and things I want to teach to those who are willing to actually learn from me. I want to work with you. I want to see you succeed. I want to help you avoid the shortcomings and the lows I've already experienced. I've been in your position. I thought if I knew what to do, that I would do it. I found myself sometimes failing to do so. I didn't always understand what I was trying to do and why it worked. When you are trying to do something you've never done before, to go somewhere you've never gone, you're gonna struggle. You go from lost to educated, then from educated to developing your execution and your application, from your execution and your application to consistency. We all go through this process over and over and over on our journey of successful actions. Why not use someone who wants to help you master all 3 phases? This is only for high school linebackers and athletes who want to get faster, stronger, and more explosive. Linebackers who play more than one sport, linebackers who make time to train every week, ones who enjoy getting better day by day, ones who love sprinting, and they love chasing that next level of speed, ones who want to invest in themselves and really grow as a linebacker, ones who want to go get a college scholarship so their family doesn't have to pay for their school, ones who want to change their life and their family's life through their work and their athletic ability, ones who are seeking out a coach who walked the path that you're trying to go on. If you're curious about the type of help you're going to get in the 1% Linebacker Academy, this is an example of what you're going to get. Mentorship with your own custom plan, video feedback on your daily work, day-to-day readiness checks, live calls each week, video lessons, and weekly reflections to fine-tune and own the process of our own individual growth. If you are ready to get started right now and want to know exactly what you need to do to get better and how to do it, click below, book a discovery call, and shoot me an Instagram DM letting me know you've watched the video and you're ready to go. A lot of parents and athletes think we can use free YouTube videos and free online training tips and free online training tricks and copy the workouts we've seen and just save money. But here's the problem with trying to do it that way. Free training can only get you so far because it's generic most of the time. They don't tailor the plan to your body, your goals, how fresh you are, how healthy you are. It doesn't do that. It just gives you a rough idea on maybe this helps or we think it's helping. They don't give you critical feedback on if you're actually improving or not. So what's the point of doing these things if you can't really say or show that there's real improvement happening? Free videos and free workouts and free training tips will only get you and your athletes so far. It's wiser to give your athlete critical feedback and a plan that accounts for where they actually are and where they're trying to go. When we jump and invest in ourselves, that's when we often make the largest changes in our lives. Your athlete already wants to change and improve and make real change, a real difference. The only thing is you. Your choice on supporting them with a plan that's actually gonna serve them. Sometimes you gotta invest in yourself. Sometimes you gotta invest in people you care about so they can make real growth, not just small itty bitty changes here and there. You can only get so far with information you piece together online. You're gonna get a real plan walked by somebody who's been where you are and who's been where they're trying to go. I was an athlete, and there have been times where I wanted to get better so badly that I'd go out there and I'd train without a plan. And I'd be afraid of spending money in the wrong place or with the wrong people. And I just had that doubt because I didn't know what else to do. And it would have been different if I just knew that there was somebody who was trying to help me, that this was different. It wasn't just somebody trying to slide me over. You know, I've been in the dark, I've been unknown, I've been insecure in what I'm doing, but I've also gotten college offers, and I've seen good programs and I've seen bad programs, and I know what happens. I know what happens when you go in without a plan, and I know I've succeeded much more when I've had plans. Your son's gonna have somebody who's done what they're trying to do and give them their own personal plan. This is a plan that comes from experience of success and failure. It prioritizes your health, your well-being, your resources. A plan that actually prepares them to be successful as an athlete, and they have a role model to use and access and learn from. They're gonna be more than how they used to be. It's 100% worth it to give your son a plan, a role model, and peace of mind about their goals of improvement and them actually making positive changes that really impact them as an athlete. I know a lot of people also think that coaches must be there in person while you're training to fix form and build real structure. And that can't be further from the truth. And I'm speaking from experience because I used to think this way. In-person coaching isn't the thing that creates the change in the athlete. If a coach tells a player what to do, but the player can't do what the coach is asking, there's a problem. If the athlete can do anything, but they can't understand what they have to do, there's a problem. Believing that in-person coaching is the only way to improve limits steady growth. If an athlete can't work with the coach and they only do work with the coach in person, the athlete's gonna get stuck. And being stuck over a long period of time kills the growth of the athlete. Their growth doesn't have to die. You don't need the coach physically there with you. You just need the information and its application. That's what creates the change. That information can literally come from anywhere. It can come from in person, it can come from a phone, it can come from a video, it can come from a piece of paper, it can come from a sticky note, it can literally come from anywhere. Any of those can give what a coach gives in a session. The thing that matters is what works best for the player when the coach isn't around. If your coach was across the country and you still got the information that you needed, that you can apply, did you really need the coach or did you need the information? The answer is the information. Remote coaching is a solution that covers a lot of problems. Problems like not wanting to travel many hours to go see a coach. Maybe you don't have quick physical access to the coach. Maybe you're unable to get in person with them, whatever the situation is, right? Remote coaching allows the athlete to get the information and the corrections they need to make improvements. So remote coaching doesn't kill or even stifle growth. It speeds it up. Imagine having access to your coach no matter where they are. You can connect with him and he can connect with you, or she, or whoever, however they are. They can connect and you can get the help when you need it, the moment you need it the most. That's what you get when you use remote coaching. Like no matter where you're at or where your coach is at, the player is still getting information and corrections that they need to continue to grow. It's way more valuable as a tool than just using in-person only. It's like being a pilot and an air traffic controller. You know, they have communication tools, but what matters is that they are communicating. That's what matters. If it was pen and paper and they were able to do it, that'd be okay, but they have wireless communication that lets them do it right then and there, so they can both communicate and understand in a way to make sure the task gets done. We use tools to help us communicate with each other as well. If you're in person, if you're separated, if you're remote, it does not matter. All that matters is that there are tools available to make sure we can continue to coach one another and to get help as we need it, and remote coaching covers that. I've had people come to me and say, like, it's just too hard to add on more coaching to what we've already got going on. We have school, we have separate training, separate workouts, we have practice, and we have homework, and we have lots to think about. Like, but here's my question. What are we doing that's causing the schedule to get so crowded? Making real progress is not about how loaded and jam-packed you can make your life. It's not thinking you have to cram everything into a day or stacking onto what's already a lot. That's dangerous. You don't add on to a pile that's already about to fall down. It's just dangerous. And living this way for you and your athlete is just not going to be good for the long-term health of you or the athlete. And we're not trying to conflict with what's taking place. We're not trying to add on to an already crowded schedule. We're enhancing the quality of the work that you're already doing. We're refining what's going on and already taking place. If that means we have to trim some things, we trim it. If that means we have to add some things, we add it, right? That's what makes it custom. We take care of you and the athlete with what y'all are doing. We refine it and we work smarter with what we're doing. Focusing on recovery is way more important than overworking or underworking an athlete. Freshness, rest, health, mood matter way more than the work that you're doing. Your habits shape what you're doing and how they take hold. And athletes make more gains when their habits are in the right place. Like, your health and well-being are the cornerstone that hold athleticism together. That's the fundamental thing I learned when I was playing in Vegas for the Las Vegas Raiders. That same level of importance is the same thing I'm gonna help your athlete get a hold of and grasp while they're in the program. Pro habits are the forefront of growing any athlete. Doing 10,000 things is not what's gonna make change. It's gonna be learning how to do more with less to get more done. One fear I wanna break right now is this question. What if it doesn't work for us? Advice is not worth much if you don't commit to doing the work. The problem with that question isn't you getting the information. It's if you're going to commit to doing the work. If you don't support and enforce good habits on yourself and for your athlete, you and they will not be as successful as they could be. Use what you get, or you will not see your reward. The fear only comes when the work isn't done. Instead, lean into the accountability and support to encourage and nurture the work. No work done well ever returns void. That's the law of the farm. As you plant and nurture seeds now, you will reap in time. Habits take repeated action. Those actions lead to harvest. Do the work, plan it, do it well. It pays. The program nurtures and guides athletes in their work. The work isn't designed to be crushing. It's made to change them into a better, stronger, faster, healthier version than they used to be. What they are working on are their habits. These habits work regardless of where or when they are in their life. These habits are based off principles, and they're based off principles that work. When we stop working together in the future, as long as you apply the principles, if you and your athlete do so, you're going to live better lives as people and as an athlete. Rest, recovery, smart training, clear intent behind what you're doing form the principles. This will work regardless of where you are in your journey. Like Adrian Park, who's playing at Coastal Carolina. One of the things we hit on when I was working with him was his nutrition. He applied what we taught or what we worked on the entire season, and he still holds it even as he's at Coastal Carolina. He'd message me sometimes saying like, man, I have so much more energy than I used to, and I feel so much better about working out, and I feel so much better about playing, and I just compete better at workouts and practice because I have the energy. And that came from applying the information. The same is gonna be for you. You should have no fear on if you're gonna succeed in this program, because it is impossible for you to fail if you apply these principles and you progress as you apply them. I've also heard people say like, what's the point of having like trainers and coaches? Right? We have our high school coach, we have our trainer, like a local guy, it's enough. That sounds good and all, but if the high school coach and the trainers in the area aren't providing enough, your athlete's behind players who do have great coaching and good support. Most high school coaches do not have enough time in the day to develop individual athletes. They have to worry about the entire team, not just one player. And there's not enough time in their days to develop guys when it's not in season. There are areas that they likely aren't developing or providing a lot of help in, like agility or positional work, speed work, strength work, etc. Like there's a spot there might be missing. A trainer might cover one of those, but they're not gonna be hitting on all of them either, right? Everything is important. Everything matters when you're an athlete. And it's possible your trainer and your coach haven't had those experiences to really help your athlete succeed. You know that they need help, which is why you're using a trainer or coach, which leads to this. Has the coach or trainer actually succeeded at a high level or done the work themselves? Is your high school coach or the trainer actually teaching them how to get stronger? Are they actually teaching them how to get faster? Are they teaching them how to prepare to succeed on the field? Are they teaching them how to rest and recover? Is somebody coaching them on why they have to change? You got to be able to answer these questions. If you have answered these questions, they probably are enough. For most people, you need personalized, recovery-focused training that enhances what your athlete is already capable of. You have the option to use someone who's been there and found success at the highest levels of competitive football. Your athlete will get coaching and support they likely aren't getting from their high school coach and or their trainer. Quality is important. Understanding is important. You don't have a reason to not give your athlete quality support if it's missing. They should be getting it from somebody who wants to help them with their plan and make them take off the way they know they should. I've seen many schools and coaches in my career so far. I've seen lots of high school coaches thrash and waste away talent on their rosters. I've seen high school coaches only develop strength and they just crush and damage their speed and explosiveness. I've even seen college coaches refuse to develop their own players, mostly because they don't have the time to develop them. Young athletes are going into this system, a world where they're probably not going to get the right support for their development. This resource is aiming to cover the shortcomings that you're already likely dealing with or you're going to deal with later. The biggest advantage we can give you and your athlete right now is having the right people in their corner. Is this a fit for us in our situation, our circumstance? Maybe this is just too advanced and you can't add any value to the level. That's baloney. Look, we start with the discovery call to see and make sure everything fits. We go over your goals, where you're at, your schedule, your habits that you already have. This program scales to any high school linebacker and athlete. It focuses on core pillars that are fundamental, period. Don't let yourself stay stuck because it's too advanced while other kids are getting an edge over your kid. We tailor the program to fit the athlete. Any player can use it. Us getting in contact and talking more about it is how we refine how well of a fit this is for you and the athlete. This is not a program where we force a fit. If it's not right for you, it's not right for you. If it is, we'll figure this out. We'll customize the plan for you. Us getting in contact and discussing is just the next step to remove any doubt so you can make the best decision available. How do we know this will translate into performance and recruiting? I've never seen or heard anything like this before. Will this actually improve performance and lead to us getting more recruitment? Most high school programs only train small portions of what the athletes actually need. Many high schools do drills, and those drills don't always transfer to being more athletic. They grind and wear out their athletes and destroy their freshness, destroy their speed, destroy their athleticism. The goal of the program is to build a better athlete who gets better at football. Many programs will not train their athletes to get faster, stronger, explosive, and healthy to a point where they don't get damaged and break down. This results in your athlete not being healthy, fast, strong, or explosive. They end up becoming another number to go through the school. Another player who doesn't make any real impact on their team. An athlete who trains hard, but he just stays average. An athlete who dreams of playing college football, but doesn't have any tape to give them a chance. They need a fresh change. A change that focuses on their health and their speed. A change that focuses on their self-improvement. A change that gives them confidence as a good football player. This change is one that helps the athlete build on the pillars that always influence how they play and how they perform. Training fresh, with feedback and guidance that builds onto their ability and their on-the-field play. Their on-the-field play leads to them having good tape. Having good tape leads to more opportunities to get recruited. Keeping him fresh protects his health, his speed, his power, and his explosiveness. Smarter and intentioned training builds speed, power, and control. Ownership and accountability grows and polishes these habits that change their game. Video uploads allow me to help fix what's already there and to help me improve them. Even right now, you're getting information that you know will help you improve, even if it's just a little bit. Your athlete deserves to have clarity for their own plan and their future. A future where they are a more capable man than they used to be. One of the linebackers I used to train with, he just noticed that when we were doing drills together, I would explain things he'd never had to explain before, and it would change the way he played and practiced the game because he's around. right? I want to do the same again. I want to be there and watch the success that you're going to experience because you're using a resource like me. Getting to become a dominant linebacker who earns a full-ride scholarship so your family doesn't have to pay a dime for college is tough. If I could help you solve the issue of having a blueprint, a plan, and coaching to get rid of that unease and anxiety about it being enough, what would that do for you? How much would your life take a turn for the better? Do you want to become a dominant linebacker and earn a full ride so your family doesn't have to pay for college? Book a call. DM me. Don't wait to do it. Take advantage of your opportunity to change right now. Don't let fear block you from psyching yourself out of this. You are capable and you can do this. I want to help you grow and achieve your dreams, and I want to watch you grow and succeed. I want to be there to celebrate with you as you improve and grow into the man who's capable of doing great things. Go ahead and book the call as soon as you can. Send me a DM saying what you've done so far. I'd love to hear about it, and I'd love to hear from you soon. God bless you.